Oh, the sweet beauty in yellow is here. How are you? You
Hello.
look
Oh,
beautiful in
good.
this
In
color.
yellow?
Yeah. Really suits you well.
This is like an old Ajoyabua. I
Wow.
thought,
Wow. You did a
bring
comeback.
back, yeah.
Sankofa.
Sankofa, yep. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, there's just a video done by Lord Paper. It's a new song called Asabone featuring Bosum Piyang.
Lord Paper again.
Yeah, if we can play it today, I'll be so happy. It's so beautiful. Yeah,
it?
it's like Bogaha life. And you know, the clip is Charlie,
really
Charlie,
excited
Charlie.
about it.
Yeah, Charlie. I said that the Lumba be some and it's a champo. Charlie, Charlie, Nane champo be.
We could play it sometime
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the show.
Oh, yeah. Asabone. Lord Paper.
Sir?
I think Fred should look for it.
Okay, listen.
But yesterday you went going to test yourself.
Oh, yes, cervical cancer,
Very
the
good.
screening.
And okay, as a test.
As a
Screen.
proud, yeah, the screen. As a proud ambassador, and having learned a lot of things about this disease that sadly claims over 2,000 women in Ghana every year. So that's me there going through the screening, talking you through the process.
Fantastic.
So we're going to show it today. And
cervical cancer screening.
Exactly. And I'm not going to say everything here because I want you to watch it and be encouraged so that you go and do the test.
But that will be
there
after.
Are few things, there are a few things that you learn because we get so busy and we hardly see the midwife, we hardly see the gynae.
Yeah.
So doing the test is actually also an opportunity to check yourself. So if you've got any infections, if you've been on the family planning method, and you haven't really talked to, the nurses about it, it's also an opportunity
for you to do.
Yeah. So, and I found it really helpful. So thanks to the Rich Hospital, the Accra Regional Hospital, they have a free cervical cancer screening the whole of this month of month of February. Please take advantage of it. Congratulations to all the women. Like they see about 100 women
a month,
a day.
A day.
Yeah, with this free screening exercise. Yep.
Nice.
So that's coming up on our show today. Also coming up, we've got Dear AM. We got a letter yesterday. I thought this sounds really desperate, from the language and everything. So we have a letter from a 38-year-old who is single, not engaged, and she says all her mates. And these days we are all on various platforms, including old school platforms. They show their children and their family, and she feels she's growing old and desperate. She needs our help. So we'll come through and then, we'll call on you every Friday and you help us. So this is another letter that we've received. I'm growing old, but I am not married. I am growing desperate. How can we help somebody in this situation? So get ready to join us with your phone calls and your messages on social media as well. We've got some big news to share, Roland.
Yeah, definitely. And for you to get to know that you can, after rescanning your television, that is your channels and the bouquet that you have, you can get us on the DTT platform, what regularly we call the free-to-air. And just you're using, those televisions, NASCO, Samsung, LG, and all that. Just rescan, put it on auto. And from 6 p.m. this evening, your most credible news source is digital, free-to-air, and we're all for you on a 24/7 basis.
Yeah.
But remember,
what does it mean? What it means is you don't only need a multi-TV, a DSTV, or Go TV to watch us. If you've got a digital television, you can rescan and begin to watch us today, 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. today. You see old and beautiful faces you see right there and their programs. So for those of you who kind of miss our shows because you go somewhere else and you can have access because you are not on multi-TV, DSTV or Go TV, you can now watch us if you've got a digital television. Just rescan. That begins 6 p.m. today. So tomorrow, you can give us feedback. If you're watching us for the first time, perhaps we'll talk about it. We've got the newspapers. It's an easy Friday. We hang out. We've got a cool guy that we're hanging out with. It's the month of love.
Yeah.
Kel Songs
is
on our show this morning as well. So, yeah. And then we're also reminding you, there's Becca and Kwamina performing live band at the Labadi Beach Hotel, and we're encouraging you to take your beautiful partners to the Labadi Beach. We're not just talking to the men, or that men grab a ticket and take your wife or your partner. We're also talking to the women, because women can equally get a ticket and grab him and take him along to the Labadi Beach Hotel.
Charlie, what a man can do, a woman can do better.
No, we're not. Listen, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's personal to you.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
I'm not saying that.
Can we do the newspapers?
Yeah, true. Let's do the newspapers. Front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. So I have the Daily Graphic, the Daily Statesman, the Finder, and the Ghanaian Times newspaper. So let's begin with the Daily Graphic. No coronavirus in Ghana. Noguchi tests confirm, and this was the news that we were all waiting for, and of course it was confirmed, no coronavirus. However, if you look at the panic, how we manage this situation in terms of these two people walking into Kolibu, and the panic and the fact that we didn't have PPS, and the holding room, and the fact that one person was allowed to go and buy food even when they were supposed to be in the holding room and the test result had not come out. I mean, there are so many questions in terms of our preparedness. We know we're not ready. We're not ready. But fortunately, this is again, like a test case for us to work on it. So particularly yesterday, we saw a lot of stakeholders. And I like it when people in authority, people, technocrats, don't keep quiet in situations like that. So big ups to the public health, the director of public health at Kolibu Teaching Hospital, for really speaking out and telling us how the
Spoke
situation
early in the morning, and then the evening wrapped it up again. I said, wow.
Exactly.
This
and I like
gentleman has balls.
the director of the director of public health, Ghana Health Service, for agreeing that this is not the time to banter, and saying that he's going to work with the other people. So that's good. But you can read all about the coronavirus and the fact that the test came negative. Also on the front page of the paper, expedite action on road projects. Road Minister urges contractors stop using building permits to defraud citizens. Local government head wants assembly staff. That story is on page 13. If you're building, you got a land and you started something, you can relate. I'm sure you know what the story is about. In the center spread, electoral bodies discuss how to strengthen election integrity. President receives head pastor of Sarang Church of South Korea. EU GIS launched €5 million border security project on the back page of the paper. Pokwase interchange project. Now that's my project. Government releases 10 million Ghana cedis for compensation. I am biased because, this is my route, so let me read a bit. So in case something is not happening, then I can. The government has released 10 million Ghana cedis for the payment of compensation for critical structures to facilitate the effective execution of the Pokwase interchange project in the Gam West municipality of the Greater Accra region. The resident engineer of Associated Consultants Limited, that's the firm for the project, who disclosed this to the Daily Graphic, said the company received the final 75% of the money in December after the initial release of some 2.5 million Ghana cedis. But I've heard that there are some people who have simply refused to allow them to, to collapse their structures. So you'd see, you find a few structures still standing, and but they can't go around it. It has to go down. Yeah. Yeah. I have a feeling this.
The thing is, once the negotiation is done properly, then everybody gets to know, the property owners will get to know the terms by which they have to go. Yeah. And so then they'll be willing.
But if we're doing a project like that, which is for the greater good of all of us, one person can hold us. Do you understand?
But you have to compensate the person.
Exactly.
Because the person can legally
absolutely.
Also
I think the issue has been how much compensation is enough. That's my suspicion with this particular case of this structure. I think one or two of them, I'm not sure if it's the same landlord, but they're standing there. Let's do the Ghanaian Times newspaper, front page of the Times. Looming disaster, Dabuase water treatment plant in danger. Natalia Kwanzaa, our Western region correspondent, reported this extensively, and we covered it here on Joy News yesterday. Rather very disturbing. The result of this is the fact that some residents in Sekondi Takrady have not had water and Ina painted the picture yesterday that for about a week, like nothing, you open the tap and there's nothing coming out. That's absolutely worrying, but that's also because of the activities of illegal miners. They pollute the River Prime, it's having an effect. So Ghana Water Company is rationing water to residents of Amenfi East area. But even with the rationing, the timetable, it's not happening, you know. Also, 9 suspected coronavirus cases proved negative. That story is here. Alleged coup plot, accused appeals for medical attention at Kolebu. On the back page, U.S. ambassador commissions shea butter processing factory or facility at Sorogo. And project to strengthen border security launched in Accra. To the finder, 9 suspected coronavirus cases test negative. Health Minister urges public to remain calm. Also, no judgment death will result due to Unipass deal, the GRA assuring. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority commissions 3 new tugboats to improve turnaround time of vessels in relation to the coronavirus. My last newspaper is the Daily Statesman. Front page, Tallow to axe a third of its workforce. It's happening in Ghana. We've heard about it in other places. Time is running out for John Mahama to come clean on Airbus bribery scandal. Also provide level playing field for all for cautions NPP over impending primaries. We used GSA to test fertilizers after grape was compromised. That's ahead of Cocoa Board investigations, telling the court. It has to do with the court case involving the former Cocoa Board boss, Stephen Opuning. If you've been following that story, then you want to catch up with the details in the paper today. But this one has to do with jobs, job losses. So let me touch a bit on it. It says Tullow Oil plans to cut a third of its staff to slash its administration costs by a fifth, or around $20 million. That's a source with direct knowledge of the matter telling the paper. After weak output in Ghana, delays in East Africa, and lower than hoped for oil quality in Guyana, the move would shrink Tullow, which industry sources told Reuters is looking to sell its Kenya projects, once vaunted as a growth engine for the group, to a workforce of around 650 people, and come alongside pay and hiring freezes. This would allow Tullow to cut its annual net administration costs by around a fifth to $80 million, which across Tullow's projects, including costs to its partners, equates to $100 million less administration spending. And the source revealing to the paper what is disturbing. Well, we know that they've been doing this in other places. They cite the Kenya example. I didn't think it will happen to us in Ghana, but if this is really true, well, the paper says the information is reliable, then I'm not happy.
Yeah, since their projects were not doing well in Guyana, and so to speak, also Ghana had not been taken off quite creditably as they had wanted, then their stocks or the shares and the share prices started falling down on the London stock market, and that created a certain problem for investors of Tullow, and also speaks comprehensively about perhaps what effect it will have on its investment in our country, and ultimately how they look at it.
But they won't just ask you, they'll give you a good package.
Well,
if they're laying you off.
It's an extractive industry, so
yes.
All
right, let's do the rest of the papers.
Okay, so let's quickly do the Informer. The Informer is on the front page. Fallout from Galamsey episode. MPP cracks over Frimpong Boateng. He has a picture there. Up there we have danger beckons. Security services as MPP faces out Cap 30 next year. Mahama cites Kufuor for gagging teachers on education problems, on legal education. Haruna Idrisu takes on Parliament, accuses it of shirking its responsibility. Meanwhile, they have a commentary on why, as citizens, we should stop making prank calls to the emergency numbers provided for the ambulance.
Charlie, that's not good. That's not good.
That's bad.
Because a day will come when you, the person, you the one who's been pranking it. You would need their services and somebody would do that to you. Because of somebody's prank calls, you won't be able to get through the emergency numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has on the front page, Otumfuo helps Ghana to get 174 million US dollars. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide. From the World Bank. Fear and panic grips Kolebu over Chinese Ebola. That's what they call it. But
yeah, but that's what happens.
Yeah. EC's new register appropriate according to the committee, and we're talking the related issues of the decision of the Electoral Commission to undertake a compilation of a new register. NDC avoids Mahama Airbus scandal. On the back page, it's all sports, what you need to look forward to, but more so, Konedu predicting they will win, and Maxwell Konedu is the coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Down there we have John Mensah buries mom February 15, Manchester City monitoring Messi, 6 arrested over ex-Malaga coach sex video, and on the side, GBA slaps Alote with a 6-month suspension. Patrick Alote is a gentleman during the recent Hassan Kotoko game played at the Accra Sports Stadium, who, well, I'll say, kicked as well as beat up a Hearts fan in the stadium. Let's look at the last paper we have. The Daily Dispatch newspaper has on the front page, bombshell from U.S. judgment on Airbus bribery. Company paid political contributions of some 3.6 million euros. The question mark is still there. Government official 1, intermediary 5, intermediary 6, and subsequently there was an intermediary 8.
You know the thing about us, say we'll do intermediary 1, intermediary 5, sir.
Say nasa. Okay, so we have judgment from British court on Airbus bribery also published in the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Meanwhile, NDC on Airbus bribery scandal and missing excavators. See page 11 of the Dispatch. Anyway, the stories about nobody eats GDP, African Development Bank boss.
Okay, that's ordinary man's talk. But nobody eats GDP.
Yeah, but he's confirming. I think there are development economies around the world who believe that too much emphasis on macroeconomic indicators really creates a gap between the haves and the have-nots in emerging economies, because it is when you spend down there, you create value for what you have by way of the raw materials. That is when it trickles down to everybody.
So, you done?
Yeah, I am.
All right, let's get ready and do myjoyonline.com. There's a story on the BBC that I would love our director to open for us as well. So we will take you to the BBC as well, and then we're going to open up a picture of the former South African President Jacob Zuma.
You're supposed to have been arrested.
Exactly. There's been a warrant for his arrest. And then the day after that, he tweets a certain picture that we will show to you. And you know, the interpretation, they say it is clear. But let's do myjoyonline.com first.
It's a powerful figure.
Yeah, man. Okay, here we go. Ridge Hospital dedicates 9 doctors, 26 nurses to coronavirus fight. And yesterday, with the incredible numbers, they were so welcoming. I mean, and it was, the numbers are chawe, like almost overwhelming. But the nurses were happy to do it. I saw very happy faces, and I was really excited. So big ups to the reproductive health care nurses at the Accra Regional Hospital, the Ridge Hospital.
That's where you went?
Yes.
For the cervical
cancer. That's where you do the screening. Yeah, man.
What?
Okay, also, Speaker adjourns deliberations on $993 million Palugu Dam. Afro Nation suit. It was never about money. Wonder World president tells it all. Who even remembers this one after the successful Afro Nation? Anna?
It was successful.
Okay. New voters register Christian Council backs calls for EC to build consensus. I think what's been really annoying is the fact that when people are calling for deeper consensus, the EC is going like, they are giving you the dates and they are telling you we will do it. I think that's what's most annoying. So when you hear calls like this, you actually don't even know where it's going. Like,
I think where it's going is that the register will be compiled.
April, is it 18?
Yeah, April 17.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it 18? Yeah.
So
whichever date we'll be ready to.
Deeper consultations. I think just that week, no, they appear on Newsfile and they're like, so are you consulting or you are telling us? We're telling you we have a date. That's what we are doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. See how it goes. So it's going to take place. It looks like. Because Charlie.
But how many times haven't they told you?
Yeah.
We know it's going to take
They've got to meet all the stakeholders.
But you see, I think what is most reasonable in this case, when all these elderly people, your advisory, whatever, when they told you to do stakeholder, we know you do the thing. But just,
but it's quite interesting.
And just do your consulting.
There was a poster sent to me, and I'll not tell you who sent it, of the registration that was done in 2012, and I think I have to put it on, and it showed that it was done between, is it April and May or March and May? Yeah. Yeah,
but my point is
and 2012, the same election year. So it's not as if it hasn't been done before.
No. My point is that when like elderly people are telling you to do stakeholder consultation, and your single message, even when they're telling you that, is I have a date for the thing. It's like you're going, nobody is asking you to back down. I'm just saying that they've got to be reasonable in how, I don't know if reasonable is the word,
this week we've had a lot of conversation.
Just be strategic.
Obi Amwa was in the studio alongside Nusa Hussaini.
Yes.
Obi Amwa said, allow the Electoral Commission to do its work. But we also respect what civil society said. I think he was even. And then yesterday, the information minister said, look, civil society, media, yeah. But the Electoral Commission is the Electoral Commission. They have the constitutional mandate. So,
All right, let's move on. Man who defiles stepdaughter says he mistook her for his wife. That's the most annoying thing. He gets a 20-year jail term in hard labor. He deserves to be there for life. The only problem is that I don't think our prisons reform. It's like we're just taking you there, but what are we taking you there for? That's the thing. But to even give this kind of excuse, so if it was your wife, like she didn't have to consent to what you were doing, like you just grab her and just do whatever it is you want to do. Charlie, let's move on. Some of these stories. Wuhan hospital announces death of whistleblower doctor after confusion in state media. We should talk about this and explain a little bit to our viewers as we've all become coronavirus conscious these days. We'll tell you more about this. Election 2020, Mahama visited the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A total of 9 suspected cases of coronavirus reported in Ghana, according to the Herald Service. Many more other stories. That's what the story is just pissing me off. Okay, so we've got lots of stories on myjoyonline.com. But Fred, if you open the BBC, please, let's just do the BBC and this one picture before we go. Yes, that's the thing. So this is a picture
is he hunting?
That's Jacob Zuma.
Is he hunting? He's hunting.
So he tweeted this
I'll shoot you.
A day after he had learned that a judge had issued an arrest warrant for him for failing to appear in court on corruption charges related to a multi-million-dollar arms deal. And that's the photograph that he tweeted on his official account. And so they are saying that for a man who uses social media only rarely and apparently carefully, the implication was clear to all South Africans. What do you think he was doing?
He's like a Beyonce. He doesn't tweet rough.
So they say it was a display of angry defiance against a judiciary and an elite, which Mr. Zuma and his supporters have argued for years is biased against him and involved in a dark conspiracy to undermine him and the radical economic transformation agenda that he unveiled towards the end of his corruption-riddled presidency.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest talking points in South Africa.
Yeah, and during his term, we're told that has been found out that he's had some compromised relationships with the Gupta family especially, and they're very big in the South African economy, and they contribute significantly not only to the economy but owning a lot of businesses worldwide, as well as other actions that he took. His presidency has always been riddled with a lot of controversy.
Yeah. All right. So on that photograph, that's generating some furious exchanges on social media.
But I love the photograph.
What about it? Do you like?
Charlie, Ethiopia.
A judge issued an arrest warrant, and then
like Demi, I think
defiance.
he should be hauled before court for contempt, not appearing before the judge.
All right, that's it for the review. We've got sports coming up next, but we have some wonderful conversations lined up. We talk Dear AM. We got a letter from one of you. You're 38. You say you're growing old. You're desperate. I think I didn't even mention the fact that she's had surgeries to take off fibroid. And
But can we show our free-to-wear? If we can show our free-to-wear.
Roland, you can't wait.
I'm excited.
You can't wait.
And so from 6 p.m. this evening, the 7th of February 2020, well, alongside your multi-TV Digibox, DSTV and GoTV, you can watch the channel JoyNews, your most credible news source on the DTT platform. So when you buy any of those, it's very popular. NASCO, LG, we have Samsung,
okay, Roland.
TLC.
Okay, Roland, we thank you.
Which television brand do you use?
Thank you.
Tell you.
Stay with us. We've got sports coming up.